Be brave, be open to the unknown, and just take the chance when it comes to you. Enjoy the process because that is how the beauty of the whole journey is, right?
Welcome aboard. This is How My Journey Started, a podcast series that showcases inspiring stories from our RMIT alumni as they navigate their career pathways and make an impact across the world.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I am Hong Ngoc, your host for this episode, and today we are telling the stories of courage, resilience, and breaking barrier with RMIT alumna Huyen. Since graduating from RMIT in 2013 with a Bachelor of Commerce in marketing major, she's worked in the top agencies in Vietnam. 5 years ago, she moved to France and started her career pathway in the B2B financial service and payment industry. Welcome to the podcast. It's so great to connect with you here in Paris.
Thank you a lot for having me here today, and welcome to Paris. How do you feel about the first enjoying in Paris?
I'm just feel so amazed by the Eiffel Towers, and the ambience of people is so amazing. People just they're wear so perfectly. And actually, I'm going on exchange to Sweden, the University of Gothenburg, and I'm also looking for opportunities in the career pathways. And I'm just have the such great opportunity to meet you here and discuss about how you started and then what opportunity challenge along the way. And I'm just really curious how you started your journey.
It's quite a long story because I've just kind of forget about how far I have been through 15 years with a lot of things up and downs in my life, right? So back then, I would say I'm around the crossroads of finishing my high school and figuring out what kind of school I'm gonna attend, and furthermore, what kind of career I want to pursue. So I still remember very clearly that at that moment, we attended the orientation session trial one day with RMIT campus in the southern Saigon. I would just had a kind of a really weird feeling that's not happened before with me. That it was kind of feeling about such an environment that is very international and professional. I just have a thinking that it could be my futures for the next coming years in the university. And at that moment, indeed, RMIT is still quite a new name in the education market. So at that moment, we think, okay, let's try. And in fact, it turns out to be 3 amazing years of my youth. Time passing with RMIT is quite fun because there's a lot of experiences with school. The program was cool. My friends, a lot of clubs, initiatives that I got a lot of chances to really embrace and learning in English. And this is the second thing I would like to highlight is that English is really kind of a passion for me beside only the language I has a lot of tools and environments that I can really exchange and immerse myself in. Then I finished the school with quite a lot of supports from career mentors and also a lot of rich full resources and information that the school support us at that time. It took me a little bit of a while by the nearly the end of the academic period to really deep dive and ask myself the question, what is career that suits me? Then I decided that marketing and communications sounds something very fun and matching with kind of my personal, and my personal interest, which is traveling and also meeting new people, communicating, and then expressing myself to the world. So that's why I decided to enter the marketing and communication industry. And it also passing quite very interesting for the next 7 years in my career. So I did a little bit at the beginning of the integrated marketing communications advertisement. And then I changed to event organization for the second half of my career in Vietnam. And it was quite amazing passing all of those experiences and environments. But then deep inside, I know that I always want to have something more than that. And I always have a thinking that I need to upgrade my career and also discover the world more than what I already have for the past 10 years. Then the next question pop up in my head is that, okay, what's next? Then I say, listen, maybe I want to discover the world a little bit more and maybe passing my 30s, my 30 years old milestone, somewhere outside of Vietnam. And maybe we never know what future brings to you. That was that. Then I started to search for quite a couple of years a diploma in another country. And to be honest, I am mainly English speaking. So I always search for programs and opportunities in English speaking countries, you know. Then one day, again, out of nowhere, I have a quite interesting discussion with a family member who is actually living in Paris. And that conversation passed with really amazing information that I learned from Europe. And then it lit like an idea in my head, like, why not? I never pay attention. But to be honest, in fact, Europe or even closest Paris or France has never actually stayed in my imagination because I don't speak French at all. But then I was like, why not start having an eyes open up and look into that and see what life brings to you? So then you can imagine a lot of research, and then it's just okay. I got a school. Let's see what life brings to me. So I did the applications, and after 1 month, I passed it, and was like, okay. So now maybe it's for me. Even my family was quite surprised when I shared the news to them that, okay, I'm going to be in Paris in the next 3 months. So just back then to share the story in the sense saying that sometimes you can plan a lot and you can take a lot of time to actually asking for advices and preparing a lot of research and getting information for yourself. But sometimes life just brings something really out of nowhere to put into your face and then showing you that maybe that could be the case. And after that kind of whole experiences, it's completely changed my mindset about, planning and destiny and the unknown of life. So voila, I'm passing the 5th year in Paris right now after the MBA.
Amazing journey. And I don't know because like when I was here, I also like navigate everything all myself, like public transportations and navigate the grocery daily. I don't know like what source of motivations and what challenges do you have when you were in Paris?
Me, myself, I am a type that I always eager to try new things. So the trigger in me that always trying to learn new things and always trying to find a pathway to grow higher. That is the first thing that I always keep myself motivated every day. And to reach to where I decided, which is an MBA in Paris. Then luckily, I would say that I'm grateful to have full support from my family in no matter what I want to do and no matter wherever I want to end up and dream to land to. So I'm really grateful for that. And of course, it has a lot of challenges and up and downs in the past 5 years because it's always not la vie en rose. But I think it's quite also beautiful experience because until you're really actually getting to the other side of all of those hardships, you could actually proudly look back of what you have done. And to be honest, you will see that you are not yourself of yesterday because it's complete another version of you. And I believe that most of the case is the better one. So what I would say is that it was my self-motivation to really actually get out of what I always have done before and also the support from my family. And the last thing is that I really want to challenging myself and discovering the world.
I see clearly the core values, your patterns, your personalities as exploring and keep the curiosity when you see a new world. And then it helps you to evolve better than yesterday.
The choice to change completely your environment and move to France was indeed quite a huge, bold decision for me back then. As you can imagine, completely new environments, new people, different races, different cultures, big backgrounds, people from different everywhere around the world. One of my tips is that keep reminding myself about the reason why I started. I also keep telling myself that look and imagine about what is waiting for you in the other side of the destination when you already arrive there, right? It's gonna be anything that you can draw up about. It can be all of your goal achieved. It can be all of the beautiful things and even the new and the unknown things that you may never know that life could bring to you and reward you if you brave enough to achieve, to conquer. And lastly, also I was very appreciating my family support because that is also the source of strength and motivation for me to pass through those early struggles in life. Because again, I believe that not only for us international students in another country, is actually the top challenges for everybody around the world, even our parents and our friends back then in Vietnam as well. We all suffer. But I believe that it's all stay behind the beauty of how you really stick strictly with your plan, be brave and always keep reminding yourself about how strong you are and finding the way, and also be ready to embrace the unknown and the new things with all of you and all of your energy, and have a strong reminding belief that it will come better.
I see that's just an amazing journey, and you've just done a great work, like from MBA to finding the global opportunities in Paris. But do you have any like advice for the RMIT young students and RMIT graduates?
And I think it's also, even for my case, one of the very first important foundations before you start planning any further thing is to look back and defining who you are, defining what you like. Because again, career is a long life journey. And of course, we have to also open up to the new and unknown things that would appear maybe next year, maybe 10 years. But first, be very loyal. And if you want to, you need to actually define what is it first, right? So you learn about yourself first, and then you be friend with it, and you find the key core interest in you that can never actually turn off the light in you that you really passionate to do with. That's gonna be where you will define and you shape your career directions. Then next, I would say, is be bold and rage enough to take all the risks that could come. Because again, risk sounds quite negative, but if you look in the other way around, that it always comes with challenges, but also good rewards if you dare to take it. So the second thing I would say as advice is that be bold and be open to all the new opportunities, and maybe sometimes out of nowhere kind of, like chances that just life make it fall in front of your face. And approach it, look at it with quite very open-minded approach and thinking that give it a try. You never know what's going to turn out to be in the next steps. Maybe it's going to be the best fit for you. I would say a little bit like look at the universe signals, that if you see more than one or two signals surrounding you pop up showing you that that's the things, then that might be something nice for you.
The fact that you are here now in Paris is like unimaginable. It's so great. But then if you can give yourself one advice when you're back as a student of RMIT, what would you say to your younger self?
It's quite beautiful question for me. Thank you for that. It's really actually a tough one, in fact. There is the first thing I immediately think about, which is don't overcomplicate it yourself. The first advice for myself younger is that you can take a lot of time to do the research, but be brave and just be open to the unknown and just take the chance when it comes to you. And a little bit tips about for myself, because after all, I also actually find out kind of like tips for my case, which is that when it's so hard to make a decision as such, pushback of all of the inner voices about analysis and the complication as well, just asking your heart about look what pops up first in your mind. And you don't have to actually consider too much about the analysis or the advices of people surrounding you. Just ask yourself, what do you feel much like to do among all of them? And most of the case, which is matching with which is correct for me, is that the first feeling when you have it toward something as an option, most of the case that's the best one, the best suitable for me, because at least your heart really passionate about doing it. So meaning that is the best suitable for you. And I would also say to myself that it's quite complicated to go up to the decision thinking, meaning that you can never be prepared enough to come up to the decision. So you cannot just simply stay there until you are prepared, because we are never perfectly prepared. So just move on and take the risk. The second thing I would actually tell myself is that be bold with making the decision, but also be responsible for it. I would say in the end of the day, you made the decision. In the end of the day, you are the one. No matter if it's good or bad, it's yours, and you own it. And the last advice for me is that there has been a lot of ups and downs in my life, I would say. And there are sometimes life really knows when is the right moment to send the key person to come, sometimes just to offer for help or even just lessons or advices. So embrace all of them, all of the moments that life brings up to you, and enjoy the process. enjoy the process, because that is how the beauty of the whole journey is, right? It's not only on the destination, but also where you are and what actually cop up with you in facing that. So that is very much what I would say to myself. I would say that be brave of your decision, because in the end it's your decision. Never regret, because no matter if it's good or bad or not as good as you expected it to be, at least it's your choice, right? So as Martin Luther King used to say, I never lose, I either win or I learn. Look at the whole process to bring you where you are today. Look at what you learned, how you grow, and how far you have been achieving to where you are right now. I would say I am not the version of me 15 years ago or even 5 years before I arrived in France. And look at me how I am today. I think I really enjoyed the version of me today better. And I'm really happy to share my story with all of you. And thank you again, all the crew, to bring me to today for sharing my story. Thank you very much.
That wraps up the episode of How My Journey Started. Thank you, Huyen, for joining us today and sharing your incredible stories. Thank you for joining us on this special season, How My Journey Started, celebrating 25 years of RMIT in Vietnam. I am Hong Ngoc. Don't forget to subscribe and join us to know more about inspiring stories from our RMIT alumni worldwide. Every journey begins with the single steps, and your journey is uniquely yours to create. Join us on How My Journey Started podcast